Hello everyone. All right, let's see what we got for you today. We got a car that is very unusual if you're from certain parts of the world. This car is a 1982 Chevrolet Comodoro 250 Coupe. Now, this is a Brazilian market car, and some Latin American countries used to see this car also. It's a beautiful coupe, I gotta admit it. I really love it. These Chevrolets were never sold in Europe or in America. If I'm not mistaken, they have some look copy from the Opel. They copy the style, but it's not an Opel altogether. Uh, this is a 143 scale. 143 scale. Look at the color. Such a bright color. I love it. The style is for 1982. It looked mean. It looked like an American car. Well, Chevrolet is an American brand, so they must have some type of approval on the car itself, but it was never sold in America. So for my American folks that follow me, you don't have a clue what car is this unless you've been to Latin America, especially Brazil, and you've seen this. I like those wheels. It gives it a special look already as a coupe, so it looks type sporty type, and those wheel helps a lot. Now this is a beautiful car. I love the car. That must have been a Brazilian. I'm trying to read it. Yeah, Teresina. Teresina, if I'm not mistaken, is a city in Brazil. It's a nice car. Brazil had a good era with cars. They used to make their own models. Some of these models were similar but not exactly the same, like an Opel. Now mostly you get what example if whatever they make in Fiat, you get a Fiat, the same Fiats you get them in most of them. Not exactly. I'm wrong because they made the Palio Fiat, which they never sold in Europe. And some other cars too, they're not sold in Europe or in America. Some Chevrolets, you don't see them in America. They got the smaller Chevrolets that, in America, they're not popular. Big cars are not popular, so they're not represent. I mean, not big cars, I'm sorry. Small cars are not popular in America, so they don't really have a lot of them. Now, I'm still surprised how this style, such a big car. It looks big, and I've seen them in person. They're not small. They're they never sold in America. They probably could have brought this model to an American market, and I think they would have sold pretty well. But again, all these safety features that never comply with the American market, with the North American market, always affected a lot of brands from bringing their models to the North American market, especially United States, because they didn't comply in their safety and other small things. I think again, is more little things than they could have probably made it happen. But regardless, I find this in a very attractive car. Is gorgeous. I am appreciating as it goes around. I'm appreciating the car. It has the old school that the rear view mirrors don't match the color of the car because back in the 80s and 70s they didn't really care so much about those little things. Now is a big thing. If your car only maybe an economy car may not match the color of the rest of the car. Now the chrome bumper, big Chevrolet, because the chrome it was like a steel bumper, a metal bumper. Those type of bumpers that if you crash against one of those cars, your car will crumble up and their car will look exactly like it just came out of the factory. But hey, nowadays is all about safety features and make sure your section where you are driving will not crumble up, but the rest of the car will look an accordion. Let me know if you ever drove one of these. I'm very curious to know. Probably my Brazilian or Latin American folks are more familiar with it than other. Maybe if you went to Brazil, such a big popular destination for tourism, you must likely seen these cars, especially back in the 80s and probably even the 90s, because back in Latin America, cars last. You see them on the road a lot longer than you see cars in North America or in Europe. In Latin America or in Africa, even probably Asia, we keep our cars running. We make sure those babies run for a long time. You know, it's not cheap to buy a car, especially in those parts of the world, and you value what you have, and you drive it until the wheels come off, and then you put them back together and you drive another 10 years. All right, my friends, I'm gonna let it go around again so you have a nice good look at it. All right, hopefully by now you subscribe already. You are watching my videos, which I'm glad you are. I'm always thankful for any views and people that are following me. I appreciate them. And if you're a fanatic like me of diecast, even resin cars, I'm buying some resin which are more expensive than diecast, but I cannot find some of the models in diecast, so I have to buy the resin. Resin, I hope that's why you say it. But I appreciate them. This is my collection, so I am always loving them. All right. Stay safe. Very, very important, especially nowadays. And I'll see you in my next video. Take care.